Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Come on in here. I'm excited about this morning's talk. You don't want to miss this morning's talk, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And so this morning, it's Friday, y'all, and it's what day is it? It's day 19. I'm joined with Miss Deborah Smith, Miss Deborah D. Smith. What's going on, Miss Deborah?
Good morning. Good morning. Rainy in Jacksonville.
It's raining in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh my goodness! Is there any snow on?
No, no, no.
No snow on the ground in Jackson. And I guess people in Florida would say that's a good thing.
Right. No snow in 30 years.
No snow in 30 years. Well, I've been in Texas for 20 years, and we've never had 7 degrees while I'm here. Minister Carol Crockett, how are you doing this morning?
I'm wonderful today. How's everybody?
Oh, man, it is so good to have you ladies joining me this morning. How has this weather treated you, Miss Carol, over the past few days? We know this has been a situation for the Texas state at large.
Well, I've learned to manage. I've learned that you put on a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
And I have had a gas stove, and so a gas oven and a gas stovetop. So you make adjustments and lots of candles. And so thank God we had water. So anyway, we're doing fine, but it has been a phenomenal week, I tell you.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were affected this week. I am praying for you guys. And so we got people. Melissa, you're there in the Dallas area, Mesquite. How are you doing this morning? And I think Melissa, you guys there in Mesquite had those rollouts.
Yes.
The electricity rollouts. I think you all need to talk to your mayor about going on an independent grid. Okay, for those of you in Mesquite. And probably get the type of system that Arlington has. No, I think Arlington was affected to some degree. I think I might be on one of those fire station grid,
right, or hospital
grid. And so Sherry Chester is in Tennessee. How are you doing, Sherry? Is there any snow on the ground there in Tennessee? And we got Karen Marshall. Karen, where are you located? Where are you checked out? And then we got Lucretia. Lucretia, good morning. How are you doing? Melissa says it was the whole city of Texas. Some were lucky. Lucky.
It was the state of Texas.
Yeah, it was the state of Texas. Keno McCartney, how are you doing? How's the Bahamas? And what's the weather there? The last time I spoke with Keno, listen, it was 7 degrees in Texas and it was 77 in the Bahamas. My goodness.
Oh, wow.
Miss Kimberly, I know where you're at. It has to be cold. Is there snow on the ground? Miss Kimberly Ann, good morning. I want to hear where you guys are at and what's the temperature at where you're at right now. This morning, I'm joined with Miss Deborah Smith. I'm Miss Carol Crockett. Oh, Keno said 75. See, 75, I can be on my patio having breakfast. 75. Oh, my goodness. What's the temperature there in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Miss Deborah? Do you know?
Yes, it was 62.
62.
Not bad.
No. Yeah, in Ohio, what's the temperature, Karen, in Ohio? We want to know, Mommy, Ohio, what's the temperature there? I think Ohio have a tendency of getting a little bit colder than we are here in Texas. So, ladies, we're talking today. We have a lot of people joining us from around the world and across the state here in the United States. It's all about words today. It's all about words. Both of you have a true love and a passion for the development of the mind and an understanding of some do's and don'ts. And today I want us to talk about really the power of the spoken word, the importance of watching what we say, about 12 inches, temperature 10, 12 inches of snow outside. Come on, somebody ought to say that. Like that. I think you need a snow machine. I think you need a snow machine. What's it? A blower?
Blower.
Well, let me tell you all something. My son, before we go into our talk, my son left Texas the day before the snow hit to go to Colorado to go to the slopes. Okay, so he is skiing. I told him he could have saved his money and ski right outside, right in the parking lot. So let's talk this morning about words. Let's start with you, Carol Crockett. The importance of words and how we need to look at what we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis.
Definitely one of my favorite subjects, because I believe that everything that we do, everything that we see today has been created by something we've spoken or someone has spoken over you. So our words are so important. We have to be so careful about what comes out of our mouth, because it's shaping things, it's creating things. The words have creative power. So if we're going to be creating something, I want to make sure I'm creating those things that's going to be life. So words are very key.
16, thank you, Miss Carol. 16 degrees in Tennessee. It felt like we were living in the third world country. Don't you say I came from a third world country. Melissa said she felt like she was living in a third world country. Did you have to sleep on the floor? Did you have to sleep on the floor? Well, there's some cockroaches and so forth. I know there weren't no cockroaches, Melissa. Hey, Brady Robinson is joining us this morning. Linda Patrick. Miss Carol just mentioned something about the importance of words, how powerful they are. And we got to look at our words, and we got to start thinking, okay, I just can't be saying anything. Miss Deborah, what's your view on the power of the spoken word?
Oh, the word is just too powerful. People don't realize that, they can bring detriment on their lives, especially with negative words that I can't, I will never.
Right.
When you speak that, you speak it unto yourself. So when you think it long enough, it becomes your mindset. And so then that's how you're acting. Your words go into your decisions and your actions. So it can just be very detrimental.
Let's dive into that a little bit more, Miss Carol. Negative words. And if you guys are watching us, I know Brady Robinson, she's a believer in speaking the right word. I see Shay Gator joining us. You guys understand the power of the spoken word. Miss Carol, your view on negative words spoken over our lives. I mean, people do it all the time. Miss Deborah just mentioned, I can't. I don't believe, and it's just constant bashing oneself. I was in a store not so long ago. I heard the guy, I'm gonna do something stupid today.
Right.
I'm just so dumb. I can't. It's crazy. Talk to us, Miss Carol.
Yeah, definitely. Because, negative thinking is really our second nature. God intended for us to speak positive because he is positive. And so when we start speaking, like Deborah said, what I can't do, you're already putting that in the atmosphere. And so I always think too that, your thoughts and your words go together. So if I'm thinking, whatever I'm thinking, I'm speaking. So we need to be very, very careful of the negative things, because words that, even the unspoken words that we place and continue to think in our minds, I call it incubating those words. And when you're incubating those words, then whatever you're thinking on and you're incubating on, they have a tendency for you to begin to speak them out. So your outer words, or what you speak outwardly, is always indication of what's going on the inside of you.
With you talking about the inside of us, Miss Deborah, there are people listening to us right now, and they've become accustomed to maybe saying some things on the outside, the external words. This is what I'm saying to you, but in truth, I'm talking to myself in a different way. There are a lot of people that say, I know Pastor Ricardo, I know Coach Ricardo, I know my minister, I know my friend is telling me to say this, so I'm blessed and highly favored. But you go and sit in your car and you say, I know I'm going to lose. Man, this ain't going to work out. I know these people are going to decline me. Watch this. If there's anybody going to lose, I'm going to lose. That inward talking, that inward voice. Talk to us, in your opinion, as to that inward voice and how it can affect us, Miss Deborah.
That inward voice can really change your emotions. It can change your outlook on life, because it can talk you into depression actually, because, you know, like you say, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm great, wonderful, highly favored. Oh, thank you, Jesus. You know, and then and inside of you saying, why did they ask me that?
Yeah, yeah.
Who is me?
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I want to go back to school, but I'm so dumb.
Yep.
I can't go back to school.
Right.
So, you know, why? Why do people walk around smiling and then you got to smile back? I don't want to smile. You know, they say smile and the world smiles with you.
Yep.
But inside they are hurting.
Right.
And those feelings are, they're just there, but they have a desire to make people think that they're better.
Yep.
When really, in fact, they're not. And it can affect their mental health.
Yeah.
It's like that self-talk. You know, what are you saying to yourself? If you're saying all that negative stuff to yourself, then that's what you're going to find yourself doing. Or like Miss Deborah said, when you start saying what I can't do. Well, I always say you know, both is true. What you say you can and what you say you can't. They're both true. It depends on how you react or respond to it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now there are people who are watching us. They haven't taken the time to start to do the work from the inside out. I think it's a work from the inside out, because there are sometimes you can't control the external.
No.
Sometimes you can't control the external, but you can control the internal. There's a story of a little boy who was being told by his teacher, sit down. Sit down, and the teacher said, the boy said, I don't want to sit down. I'm telling you, you better sit down. And the boy sat down. He said, I may be sitting down on the inside, but I'm standing up on the inside.
Yes.
You gotta know how to stand up on the inside. I want both of you ladies just outright talk to those who don't know the importance of standing up on the inside, because at the end of the day, when life throws you a blow, it may be very disappointing to you as to what you're seeing on the outside. But if you got an inward voice that simply says, I think someone says, talk to yourself, speak to yourself, encourage yourself. If you know how to do that from the inside out, you're going to make it. Talk to us.
Well, I think, you know, one thing that's important, and a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, they heard that somewhere and everybody says that. Affirmations.
Yep.
Get an affirmation. When you wake up, after you meditate with the Lord or whatever, say your affirmation.
Yep.
My name is Deborah Smith.
Come on.
I am a child of God.
Yeah, yeah.
I am beautifully made.
Yes.
Yes.
I can do anything that my mind sets out to do.
Yep.
Because God is going to walk with me.
Yep.
I won't meet any strangers, because everyone I meet, I'm going to have a smile on my face. You got to speak that thing.
That is so true. You got to talk to yourself. Like you said, you got to encourage yourself.
Yeah.
And so when things are going on, you know, I don't want my outer appearance, my countenance always to look like what's going on the inside of me.
Yeah.
So you say to yourself, you know, like Deborah said, I'm a child of God. But even when I find myself, even this week, worrying about some stuff, I had to remind myself that God didn't intend for me to worry. If I'm worrying, then where's my faith? So when that word creeped up inside of me, I had to go to the word and remember what God said about me. Why are you worrying about any of this? I got all these things. I'm still in control. I am sovereign. So you don't have to worry about it. So you need to stand up on the inside as well as you can stand up on the outside and declare who I am and who I am to you.
Yes, I totally agree. You know, a few months ago, I had a meeting in Dallas at this really nice restaurant, and I had my car detailed so that I could do valet parking in a nice way. You know, I wanted to valet park and be like, oh, come on, this is a nice car. The car is clean and all that good stuff. So I got cleaned up. I'm looking good, smelling good. My car is clean. I pull up at the restaurant, got to the restaurant, had my meeting. I'm leaving the restaurant. I'm on the freeway. My car started acting up. Well, in my car acting up, I ended up pulling on the side of the road and it cut off. Well, right when the car cut off, my mother called from the Bahamas. She said, hey, how are you doing? I said, well, my car just cut off. She said, oh my goodness, I so hate that. You look like you're having an I said, man, let me tell you something. I look good on the side of the road too. She said, what do you mean? I said, man, listen, my car's clean. I'm clean. I smell good. The car ain't started, but I feel good right now. I said, I'm gonna call roadside assistance. Long story short, I did not allow that car to cause me to speak death over me. You know, I could be, oh me, oh my, oh the pandemic. I haven't traveled on a flight for a year and everybody knew me as a traveling guy. I could have said, oh my goodness, listen, Miss Carol, I just put 4 new tires on that car. I mean, literally like 3 months ago, I spent $1,000 for 4 new tires on that car. The car what I could be like, devil, oh, you know, I could be so upset. But you know what I said to myself? I said, boy, you know what? You look good on the side of the road. How important is it for those that are watching us to get their minds right so that their speech can be right as well? Because really, the truth of the matter is that's a development in the mind that one has to take control and understand watch this. I walk by faith, not by sight. Whatever I'm in right now, yes, it's freezing outside. Yes, the company laid me off. Yes, this is happening. But I'm going to come through this with the victory. I'm going to win when it's all said and done. Talk to us about that mindset that is critical for success.
That is definitely a key because that's what I was thinking. Everything we do starts in the seed of our mind. So if you don't work on that mind, changing your mindset, just like yesterday, I'm one of my friends and a lot of things was going on. And then I got a news that something else had happened. And I found myself saying this, oh my God, when it rains, it just pours.
Yep, right.
And so when I was quickened by that, and I said, you can't, why are you saying that? That is just defeat. That is negative. And so I quickly thought about it and I said, that's in my mind. So I really need to rethink this thing. So I said, okay, when it rains and when it pours, Lord, help me look for the rainbow that you give me a promise for. So everything we have to just know that the Bible says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. So if I'm always thinking on those things that are negative, then I have to begin to change some things. I always think about things in mathematic form, because if it's like if you got 2 negative numbers, you add them together, you're gonna end up with 2 negative things. So when you put 2 positive things to add 2 positive things, you're gonna end up with positive. So it's a matter of us rethinking before we speak. And then also, what are you thinking about? I think Joyce Meyer says it perfectly. Sometimes we got to change our stinking thinking. And that means we have to become so aware of what we're thinking. We just can't be out there thinking haphazardly and with no direction. So our mind is so key as to how we're going to, that's where it kind of starts, in the seed of our mind.
It sure does. Before me say anything, Miss Deborah, I was thinking, when you mentioned that, and then when I look back at the car situation, one of the things that I've done to frame my mind in the right state, and this is a discipline, this is a where you have to now build with an understanding. I've discovered that no one is exempt from a challenge.
No.
Everybody is going to have their day. Okay, everybody is going to have their day. And so that's the first thing that I've had to establish. Then the second thing I realized was when my car cut off, there's a mechanic sitting down in the shop saying, man, ain't no cars coming in today. God, I need a car to come in today.
Right.
Come on. There's a record driver sitting in some parking lot saying, man, ain't nobody called for me to pick up a car today because I need, you understand what I'm saying? There's this equal exchange that's going on. Today it's good for me. Tomorrow it is good for someone else. The other day it's good for someone. But at the end of the day, because I have a tendency of looking for the good, I see more good and I attract what I look for, and I get more what I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? So if you're paying attention to negative, you more than likely will find yourself attracting more negative. Miss Deborah, when it comes to that negative framework in the mind that has to be worked on, what's your view?
Well, thank you for that question. It's funny, but I have been talking about the 5 building materials that will help you to build a great life. And last month I talked about mindset. And one thing that I try to continue to stress is that you can be an Einstein. I mean, just totally brilliant. But if you think negative, if you speak negative, if you talk negative, it's just like you're a dummy, because your intellect is not going to shine through. It's going to take on that mindset of all that negative talk that's around you. So it's very key that you keep negative people,
Right.
negative words, all of the negative thoughts from around you. I can remember, this has been about 6 years ago now, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. You know, I only told certain people, but I never said, God, why me? You know, I'm not going to make it. You know, what am I going to do with my family? I need to get my house in order. I never thought any of that. I just continue to give God all the glory, never thought negative. I came out of it, you know.
Praise God.
Have to speak positive. That negative will just eat at you just like a cancer. That negative.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ladies, thank you very much for sharing that, Miss Deborah. You know, there are a lot of people who don't realize that's a developed behavior over time that one must work on. You have to work on that. Let's talk about some of the common negative things we hear people say. And for those of you that are watching, I'm so glad you guys are engaged. Lucretia, thank you for being engaged. Shay and Brady. I mean, listen, Melissa, Quentin Paseni say he's watching in Alabama. Paseni, is there snow on the ground? I know you're from the Bahamas. You ain't used to no cold weather. Come on down to Texas, Quentin Paseni. But ladies, let's talk about what are some of those negative words we commonly hear people say. Now, there's a difference between there is a reality and then there is a dwelling on negativity. Let me say that again. There is a reality, and then there's dwelling. And when you ponder, when you sit on, when you continue to feed something in the wrong view, that is the unhealthy perspective. However, we know proper reasoning, and a good, healthy person knows how to identify, okay, there is a number of things not going the way that I wanted to go today, and I must accept that. All right. Yeah, you know, I didn't like the fact that my water went off, but the reality of it is someone not only did their water go off, their pipes burst. Right. So you see what I'm saying? So it could be worse.
Yes, it could be.
So you can't ponder on your little bad, because it could be worse. Let's talk about some of the negative stuff that we hear people say to themselves. Y'all want to go at that?
You know, Ricardo, everybody has a flat tire sometimes. So that means that if everybody's going to have a flat tire, there may be some times that I'm going to have something that looks to be exceptional, but it's how I look at that thing. And so one of the things that I think that people say that's negative is nothing ever works for me.
Wow.
I can't make it. You know, my family, you know, all of my family has had this situation. So I can't even see any way.
You're telling me that some people who say that's just the Bronx. You know, we none of the Bronx got none of the Smiths, none of the Millers, that's those people. You know, well, you know, my family, we never had good credit. No one in my family is good with business.
Right.
No one in my family is educated. That's just not us. That's
right.
Go ahead, Miss Carol.
You know, and so that like you said, if you always saying that and you can't ever see any light, then that is kind of where you're going to stay stuck. But that doesn't mean that you're hopeless, because sometimes you have to look outside of your circle or outside of your circumstance so you can see something positive. You can see there are other people. Just because the Browns have never done it don't mean a Brown cannot do it. So you have to make your mind up that you're going to be that one that's going to step out, and I'm not going to stay stuck in that. If you want to do better, because like they say, if you want to, when a man know better, they want to do better. So we want to do better.
Oh man, Miss Deborah, you want to jump on that?
Sure. You know, and it's just like can be a young person, middle age, whatever. But you decide to go to school. So it's this, I can't do that. I know I'm going to fail this class because I can't do it. I was never good in math, but I'm going to take the class. I'm going to make sure I pass that class. So whatever I have to do, you know, you get a tutor, you get help. But people talk themselves down. I know I can't do it. With technology, how many of us have said, oh, I don't know how to do that. Hey, what do? You Google it or YouTube it. You can do it. You have to.
You can.
You can do it.
And you have to continuously say that to yourself. That like he's talking about affirmation, you have to continuously say, I can do it. So when you have those thoughts that I can't, like you said, Miss Deborah, if you can't, I always ask myself, why and why not? And can you look for some help? Because you can find some help if you want to.
Yeah, I tell people the first thing they need to do is take that word C-A-N-T and N-E-D-E-R out of their vocabulary.
Exactly.
Out of vocabulary. Not there. So if you C-A-N-T, if that's not there, you can do it. You can do it.
Yes. You know, I can remember the first time. I can remember standing on a platform and I was preaching. I felt under the power of the Holy Spirit. And I said, my God, I'm going where no Miller has gone before. I said, what did I say just now? Right? And then I was backed up. I'm going where no one in my family has gone before. And I remember for days I started thinking, oh my goodness, people going to think I'm arrogant. People going to think I'm cocky. People going to think. But there comes a time where you have to realize you may be called to really go where no one in your family has gone before. And you may have to confess it. You may have to declare it with confidence, even in words, before it becomes a reality. I am going where no one in my family has gone before. I'm breaking generational curses. You know, I'm going to live and I'm not going to die. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to refer to my family line of how things are done, because here's the deal. I'm a standard bearing person that is changing the game. So there are people watching us today who don't understand that the Bible reinforces positive life being spoken through our words. What are you guys? What's your favorite scripture? What is your favorite quote that comes to mind that really resonates with you, that you want to share with our viewing audience? And if you guys are watching us, I see Randall is joining us and Billy is joining us. Monica, thank you for joining us. Please do me a favor and share this. There are so many people who don't realize that their words has the creative ability to influence their future. And so what scripture, what quotes pops out to you that you want to share with us this morning?
Well, mine is 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is inspired by God and useful for teaching the truth, rebuking error, correcting faults, and giving instruction for right living. And that's the Good News version. But I think that is so true.
Well, you know, I've always kind of kept Philippians 4:8. I call that my sifting of my words text, because it says, finally, brother, and you know, it says we think on these things. So I said, let me think, and I start saying, let me sift through these and see. So I sift and I ask, is it true? Is it honorable? Is it helpful? Is it hurtful? Or is it inspiring or insulting? Or is it necessary or nice or naughty? Or is it kind? So I sift those words through that, because that's what the Bible said. We're supposed to think on those things that are honorable, that are true, that are helpful, that are inspiring. And so if I'm going to check myself, I want to check myself with something that I can remember. And so I want to start sifting through that. Is this true? You know, what the word say is true about me. What the word say, the word is honorable. So I need to say those things that are honorable and helpful and not hurtful. And then I always think about this. Are my words going to be, will they help? Will they heal? Will they hinder? Will they hurt? Are they harming somebody? Are they humbling me? And are they humiliating anybody? So I want to put those things together. So those are the two things that I kind of want to make sure I'm thinking about when I speak words.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing that. For those of you guys that are watching us, I want you to remember this. A word is a spoken thought. It starts in the mind, and it is oftentimes expressed in a number of different ways. This morning, I want you to start thinking, okay, what have I been saying about myself that is hindering me from living my best life? You like that term, Miss Deborah?
Yeah.
What have I been saying that has been hindering me from living my best life? Now, here's the deal. The Bible teaches us that life and death is in the power of the tongue. But now there are some people who have become accustomed to speaking the words in an open term, just from a rehearsed standpoint, but the pondering side, they're still dwelling. How important is the renewed mind in this whole process, ladies? Let's talk about renewing our mind so that we can find ourselves in a better place. I wasn't always the positive person. I was on a flight a few years ago, and this stewardess was having a bad time. And the guy next to me, he was like, man, she's having a bad time. She came to me and asked me if I want them little cookies and the flight didn't start yet, and she already was, and she was snapping at people. And he said, man, she's coming at you. I said, no. He said, he went at me to say that she was responding to me, but I said, no, she's having a problem beyond me. She's just reacting out to me, but it's more than me. That's her problem. And so she'll be okay. I deflected. I didn't allow myself to accept it. Some people allow themselves to accept what's happening, and they don't understand it all starts with the mind. How important is it for us to get our minds right?
Go ahead, Deborah.
I think you have to get your mind right and renew your mind, because as you stated, like the young lady, she was probably having, nobody know what was going on with her. She hadn't learned how to control that. Yep. But sometimes you have things that are inside and they're eating at you, yep, and you just lash out.
Yep.
And for years I had something personal that bothered me, and this was from my birth on. It has really bothered me, and it ate at me. And I was a person that I was harsh when I talked, but I really had a chip on my shoulder. But then as I renewed myself and talked to God about it and whatever, and it was because I was adopted. Yep. I came to realize, hey, God doesn't make mistakes. Yep. He knew what he was doing.
Yep.
He had not put you in the environment that you are in now, you would not be the person that you are. Look at what all you have accomplished in your life.
Yes.
So that changed my mindset.
Yep.
Gave me a new thought process, and my whole spirit, my whole attitude changed.
Yes.
I knew I was blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
Because God orchestrated my life.
Come on now. That's what I'm doing. See, but that's a mindset that she had to develop. And there, watch this. There's a right way of thinking, and then there's a wrong way of thinking. And whichever one you feed will grow the most. And if you're feeding negative mindset, you'll say, wow, those people don't know what they're talking about. We know exactly what you're talking about. If you hear Deborah's story, you hear Carol Crockett's story, you hear Ricardo Miller's story, we all have reasons to be negative. We all have reasons to just listen, our video would go viral if all we talk about was negative. If we just was to come on here and all we talk about was how bad life was and what the government is doing and what the government ain't doing and what the people in our neighborhood, come on, you know what I'm saying? Right. But because we're wanting to renew our minds and get ourselves in proper alignment with how we're supposed to live and think, some people aren't as attracted to that. But I believe that we're still on the right track. Ms. Carol, what's your thoughts?
Well, the word says renew your mind. It says renew in the spirit of your mind. So your spirit man has to be renewed in order for my natural man to be able to respond to that. Because like Deborah was saying, there's so many things that you could just focus on that's been negative or could affect your life. I remember in high school, the counselor never called me into the office and tell me I could be a college person. They never did say that to me. And I was like, well, what's wrong with me? I got good grades and everything. But, there was that choice people that were set to the side, and they had labeled them as they were going to be so accomplished. But you know what? My mother was so about education, even though she finally got her high school diploma and a GED, but she would push education. And so I had to finally tell myself, I can go to college, I can get a college degree. So I made up my mind that I wanted to create a life that there were people in my children would be college graduates. So I had to change that mindset. I had to change what people thought I couldn't do or speaking negative to you. You have to remember, like I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. So even though they never gave me that indication that I could be a college graduate, wait a minute, I could even go to college. I wondered if they thought I could finish high school, but but I did. So anyway, you have to start. You have to speak life to yourself. You can't take all of this, like Miss Deborah said, you don't take all the negative. You can take a negative with Christ and change it to a positive situation.
Listen, ladies, let's close out our talk today about positive confessions. Just, one of my positive confession is I'm getting better with age. My son says it. I printed a t-shirt. I've sold hundreds of those shirts. I mean, listen, my mama will tell you, that boy believe he gets better. He truly is getting better with age. I was a knucklehead. I've actually gotten to the point where I say, listen, we Millers, we don't start well, but we finish strong. You know what I'm saying? I was like, listen, positive confession. Good things are always happening to me. That's a confession. You know what I'm saying? What are some of the positive confessions that you would establish as words that persons should be considering to ponder on and confess for themselves? And if you're watching, ladies and gentlemen, on the sideline, go in the comment section and give us a couple of positive confessions that you have been declaring over your life, that you have been standing on, that's been the difference maker for you. You want to go ahead and start this off for us, Miss Deborah?
Okay, thank you for that question. Okay, the confession is, saying aloud what you are believing God for. God can make this a reality. So you have to start telling yourself that, you want to make a difference in your life. You want to be different. You think negatively. You're always impatient about everything. God, I know with your help, I can have better patience. I can do better. If I have better patience, I can do more for myself. I can do more for other people. But you have to speak those things as though they are. So just start confessing that. It doesn't do you or anybody else any good when you know that you lack something or you have a weakness and you just try to ignore it. You just put it on the back burner. You need to bring that thing up to the front. Let me work on it. It's not going to get any better when you work on it. We can't hide from God. He knows.
We cannot. Because he knows.
He knows. Yeah. So you got to bring it up to the front and you have to work on it. God, I know without a shadow of a doubt, with your help, I can overcome this. I can do better. I can be a better mother. I can support my children better. I can communicate with my son better. The son is, it looks like he's acting out, but he's not really acting out. You're not communicating with him. He doesn't know that you have that love for him. That's a weakness. God, I know I can do better. My son, he needs my support. So you have to do those things.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, these ladies are blessing us. I want you to put the comment in the comments, a positive confession that you have been declaring over your life, things that are right to be pondering on, the thoughts that you're pondering on a daily basis. Put it in the comment section. Ms. Carol, what are your thoughts?
Well, one for this year for me is I am consistent, that I'm consistently changing. And I love yours about, I coined into that one. I am getting better with age. So I continue to say that. And, even when we talk about confession, we think confession is just confessing our sin. But it means, like Ms. Deborah said, confess out loud. Speak out loud what you want to see happening in your life. And so I know I want to be more consistent. I do want to be a little bit more compassionate, and I want to be a great listener, because I think listening is so key. And so I'm learning to be a good listener, but I know that I am beloved. I am the Lord's beloved. I am more than a conqueror. And I love this. I got Christ's DNA in my body.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, today we want you to focus on the understanding that your words have power, the spoken words and those unspoken words that you don't ever tell anybody but yourself. Pay attention to what you say to yourself, actually more so, because it is those words that are really also framing your life. You want to stay positive. You want to stay on track with understanding your words are doing something for you. What you ponder on all day long, you're becoming. Okay, what you ponder on all day long, you're becoming. That's one of the reasons why you hear me. I'm pushing the whole term. I'm living effectively. Nothing missing, lacking, or broken. It's all coming together for my good. You know what I'm saying? Even the things that doesn't work itself out for me today is favorably working itself out for someone, and it's going to turn back around and come back to me as a blessing, knowing that, guess what? All of us want our part, and someone else want their sunny day, and someone else want their rainy day, and someone else needs the snow. My son traveled to Colorado for snow, but he could have gotten it right here. Ladies, in closing, the power of the spoken words. What reminder would you want to give to those as we close our talk? Also, let them know how they can follow you on social media and anything you have going on that they may want to connect with.
Well, I would just always remember that everything in life hinges on two things: your thoughts and your words. So we have to change our mindset. And when we change our mindset, we can change what we say, because always the mind is that inner thought life. And so whatever I'm doing on the outside is real indicative of what's going on the inside of me.
Yep. That is so good.
Okay. And I think that what I would like to leave is that we are the children of God. He's in our lives. We can do whatever it is that we set forth to do. He's given us talents and gifts. We need to walk in those and know that we are blessed in those, and we can be conquerors, but we have to be positive. We have to think positive thoughts, be around positive people, and we have to be positive.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I've declared that 2021 is the year for winning in every area. Now, I know somebody said, Darren, my pipe burst. I don't know if I'm winning, but this pipe just busted in the walls.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. That pipe can be your cash day. Okay, listen, favorably, you could find yourself reaping a reward that is so far beyond any pipes bursting, electricity off, job lay off. You understand what I'm saying? You got to get yourself to understand that you attract what you focus on.
Right.
Okay, you attract what you focus on. Don't forget the lifestyle you promise yourself when you wake up in the morning, and tell yourself, I'm coming for all that belongs to me. My future is brighter than my past. That's one of my new ones right now.
Wow.
And I want as many of you guys to declare that right now. My future is brighter than my past. Whatever I put my hands to,
will prosper.
I am the lender and not the borrower. Come on. Good things are always happening to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have bad days. I have days where I have to study to make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, ladies, thank you very much. Y'all were such a delight. I'm going to have to do this again with you all, just because I believe what you are doing. I believe in your message, and I'm so grateful that you were able to take some time out on this early Friday morning to join me here on Effective Living. Go ahead and crush it today. And Miss Deborah, before we go, I know for those of you guys, if you haven't gotten my book yet, get my book, okay? Get the book. Go listen. See ya. Thank you very much, Miss Carol. Okay, got to get the book. Okay, get the book. Miss Deborah, put your book in the center right there, please. Miss Carol, get the book up. Okay, somebody take this picture right here. This is a good shot right here. If you have not gotten this book, and then I know Miss Deborah got her book close by. Come on, Build Your Best Life, okay, and Effective Living. Get the book. Okay, get the book, ricardomiller.com. That's where you can get the book. Go ahead and follow Deborah, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith, and follow Carol Crockett online. These ladies are being a blessing, not only to us this morning, but they've been a blessing to so many. And so enhance your life by the words you say and the words you think about all day long. Have a phenomenal day, guys. We'll see you next week, same time, right here on Effective Living. I love the fact that you guys joined us from all over. Please leave your most positive comment that you say to yourself on a daily basis in the chat section. Have a great day. Thank you again, ladies. God bless y'all.
Bye.